think and break me.
Hi guys, welcome back if you've been here before, and if you're brand new then thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you'd like to stick around and join us in all of our adventures. You can do that by hitting the little subscribe button, it's just down there. If you do hit the subscribe button, then please make sure to turn the notification bell as well, and then you'll be notified every single time that we post. So you'll notice it's just me today. I'm Emma, by the way, if you've not met me before, and that's because I'm doing a bookish tag. So Heather's from the Disney Housewife. I'll leave a link to her version of this video and her channel in all the places. She's wonderful, you should check her out if you haven't already. But she tagged me in a Goodreads end of year wrap up. So it's Goodreads 2020 Year-In-Review Tag. Which is such a great idea because we use the, or I know I do and a lot of other readers do, the Goodreads kind of challenge to see how we're getting on with our reading throughout the year, and at the end of the year it gives you some statistics. So I've got a bunch of books just down there that linked to the tag, and I'll just get into the questions. I'm reading the questions from this beautiful notebook. I don't know if you can see it. It says nap first, plan later, and it's Aurora, but it's just so pretty, and I like little workbooks like this because I don't feel too bad when I draw in them. But let's just get into the questions. So the first question is, how many books did you read this year? And I read 24 books, which is on the lower scale for me, but it was hard last year. It was hard to read. I don't know why, but I set my goal at 20, so I exceeded my goal. So that's all that really matters. But I read some good books though, some really, really good books. What was the first book that you read this year? So I'm going to leave a picture of it just there because I don't have this one physically. I think I must have read this one on my Kindle. I read Wilder Girls by Rory Power. It was kind of a strange one to read as the first one of the year because I read this in January or February and then the world went crazy, and it's kind of about quarantine because of like an illness, so it was kind of strange to read, but I enjoyed that one, and I would recommend it. It's a little bit weird, but it was a goodie, so I enjoyed that one. Question number 3 is, what was your most anticipated read? So I put down The Bone Season because this one I have had on my bookshelf, it must be 3 years easily. This one is by Samantha Shannon, and I think I wanted to get to this one a lot. Also, there was a Sarah J Maas one that came out this year. I can't remember what it's called, but it's huge and it's hardback. But anything Sarah J Maas I'm always really looking forward to, but I never got round to that one, so I felt a bit like I was cheating by putting that one on the list, so I put this one on the list. It was good, by the way. Shortest book that you've read, again, I read it on my Kindle, and it was 100 Ways to Be Kind by Teresa Chung. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It was 31 pages. I was trying to read some more books that are like, not self-helpy, maybe a little bit self-helpy, but do you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily like storybooks, but like something that can help me improve as a person. So if anybody's got any recommendations for those down in the comments, that would be really, really great because I have no clue where to start with that. So the next question is, what is the longest book you've read? I need to show you this book. I have it physically. Firstly, it is a chunker of a book. It's Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. It's the first book in one of her new series. The cover is beautiful. It's all metallic and shiny, which is why the camera is being strange, but it's really, really good. The main character in it is called Emma, which was a little bit weird at first, but then I quite enjoyed it because I don't get to read many characters called Emma. Normally they have like really strange names, don't they? So it was really nice to read. It is 698 pages, and do you know what, considering it was so long, it didn't take me that long to get through. I would say like maybe 2 weeks, which is how long it normally takes me to get through a book. So yeah, what a chunker. Question 6 is, what book surprised you the most, good or bad? I chose a bad one. Again, I'll leave a picture of it here. I chose a bad one because some of the good ones I've read have been really, really good, but I expect a book to be good, so I wasn't surprised. But I chose Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I hated it. I really hated it. I know a lot of people would like it. it just wasn't for me. The story was a bit naff in my opinion. I didn't like the characters. It just wasn't for me. I know everybody has different opinions and that's why we all like different things. So I don't want to like hate on it too bad because some people will have read it and really, really loved it, but it wasn't my cup of tea. And then question 7, again, worst book you've read, and I put Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. Normally it probably wouldn't be the same book, but because I only read 24 books, this one is the only one I can think of that was like terrible. A book that exceeded your expectations. I chose Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This book is cool. So it's about like the future, and people don't die in the future, and so they have this system of scythes, and it's their job to kind of glean people, which means like they get to kill people, but it's all legal and it's just the way the world works. And I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I hated this cover. Nothing about it made me want to pick it up. Like I've had it on my shelf a little while, but it was brilliant. It was so brilliant, and I've got the second book coming, and I've got the third book on my shelf already, so I can't wait to get straight into these. Brilliant. I would 100% recommend this book if you're into like YA, which is mainly where I read. So yeah, this one. Question number 9, which author did you read the most of? So I read all of, not all of, there's another one now, but I think I've got them in the wrong order. I read all 3 of the Bone Season series that I have. I think there's a 4th one now that I've not read, so need to give that a go. But I read all 3 of these, which means that Samantha Shannon is the author I've read most by default. It is the only series that I've read in like a lot of this year, I think. So yeah, Samantha Shannon. I like her writing, I think. I like the books, so I must have liked her writing. I also would recommend these ones. These are pretty good. If I've moved, it's because my battery died. Question number 10. If you could recommend one book, what would it be? So I'm not sure if this means from this year or ever. So I've picked one from each. From this year, I would pick Scythe. It was the most surprising, and I wanted to pick up the next one instantly. But of all time, my favourite book of all time is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't have the actual book, I don't think. I don't have the book. I've got like the sequel ones, but A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. That's my favourite of all time. But from this year, it was this one. Question 11. Did the challenges of 2020 hurt or help your ability to read? So I wrote both because I didn't read as many books as I normally would. But I think that's because I struggled to focus. I'm working from home at the moment. Well, I have been doing since February. So there's no like change for me. So I don't get to like come home and relax. I'm at work 24/7, it feels like. So that's tricky. But so I definitely had more time to read. And when I was really in the zone to read, I was like devouring books. The second half of the year, like from like August, I was really getting through them, but at the beginning part of the year I was really struggling to like settle and like focus on anything, so it was really tough. But yeah, so both, I think. Question 12. What book are you currently reading? I only started this one, I think I started this one on either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, but I'm reading To Kill a Kingdom. Who's this by? To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. It's feels a little bit Little Mermaid-y to me. So I'm only like this far in. Where am I? 96 pages in. Really enjoying it so far. There's a prince, there's some mermaids, there's a siren, everyone's a little bit evil. Love an evil character. Some stuff's about to go down. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. And it is a little bit mermaidy, and I'm really like a little bit Little Mermaidy, and I am really liking that, so it's fun. Question number 13. Did you finish your 2020 Goodreads challenge? I did, yeah. only just. 24 isn't a huge amount for me, but like I said, I was struggling to focus at the beginning of the year, so you know, I would like to be able to read as much as some other people read, but also that would mean buying a lot more books, so we'll have to see. But I did read more than my challenge, but less than I'd hoped to read, so you know. Question 14, what book are Disney fans most likely to enjoy? So this is a Disney creator question, I guess. So I've got a few because I, again, wasn't sure if that was from 2020 or from, like, life. So this year I read Loki, what's it called? This year I read Loki Where the Mischief Lies by Lee Mackenzie. By Mackenzie Lee. That was pretty good, actually, so I guess Marvel fans would really like that one. It was really easy to read. It was maybe on the younger side, so I whizzed through it. I quite liked reading about Loki because he was one of my favourite Marvel characters anyway. Otherwise, I would recommend A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It isn't really, in my opinion, but it is still very magical and enjoyable. I think people would like that, but also it really depends on what genre you read, because I tend to stick in like YA. I like a bit of fantasy, so some of the, you know, adult fantasy, and I've been kind of edging into like romancy books, but not really. So it really depends, but I'm really thinking this one is going to be a contender, so I'll have to let you guys know when I finish. But that is all of the questions, so thank you so much to Heather for tagging me. I really had a lot of fun going over my statistics from Goodreads, and it's really got me in the mood to start reading now, so I'm really happy about that. And if you are interested in doing the tag, I'll leave the questions down below so you can give it a go. Let me know if you do, and I'd love to come over and watch that. And we'll see you in our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!